Happy to be joined by one of the top prospects in all of baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals, Dylan Carlson. Dylan, thanks for taking a little time. I guess we all have a lot of time these days. So, the first thing I'd like to start off with is just how are you filling your time? Like, what are you doing to try to, one, stay in shape, and two, keep your baseball skills as sharp as possible?
Yeah, so for me, this time, it's unprecedented. We're usually always playing during this time. So for me, I've just really been trying to keep busy by trying to keep a consistent routine. So I wake up pretty early in the morning. I will work out with my brother and my dad. We have a family friend who lives real close. We go over to their little home gym. We're able to get in all our work every morning, and then we're able to hit later in the day as well. So for me, having family members that help me out, and my younger brother, he goes to college, so we kind of have to get up early in the morning so he could get in his online schooling. So, but yeah, just keeping a consistent routine and hitting, but still getting in my time with MLB The Show and all those good things as well.
Do you rub that in with your brother, by the way? Like you finish your workout and you're like, all right, I'm done. Have fun with that.
Exactly. I let him know. Yeah, I'll be over here playing video games while you, go to school.
Um, how tough was the decision to decide to head back home? Obviously, it sounds like you're in a good position. You're surrounded, by support. Was there any thought to, well, maybe I should just stay in the Palm Beach area, as things were unfolding?
Yeah, so at first I originally planned on staying there and just, getting my work in that way, being around the team and just, you know, staying there and staying as ready as possible. But as things kind of unfolded, the organization kind of said it would be best for us to go back to our homes because they really didn't know too much about how long it was going to be or, if how much access we would even have to the facility. So they kind of just made it easy for me by saying that. And I knew I would be able to stay ready and get all my work in here. So for me, it wasn't too hard of a decision.
What kind of regular communication have you had both with the organization and, some of your organization mates, teammates, things like that, just in terms of, even if it's just from a group text to stay sane, during all this, but also just in terms of bouncing ideas off of each other, finding out, what the organization is hoping everyone's going to be doing.
For me personally, with the organization, we've had a ton of contact. They've kept us really in the loop, kept us up to date. They let us know what they expect out of us, and they've been checking in real regularly. And I think it's been, you know, great to just know that they're still keeping an eye on us during this time with all that's going on, and just keeping us in their thoughts. So I've had a lot of communication as well with guys on the team asking me how I'm doing, how I'm staying ready if I need anything. So some of the veterans have reached out too, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is kind of such a weird time because for you, this, was gearing up to be potentially like a really big year where you could make that climb to St. Louis and you had to press pause. Uh, Obviously, everything requires perspective right now. There's a lot going on in the quote unquote real world that is, much more dangerous and things like that. But, how frustrating was that as a young player who you knew you were, if not going to be up right away, were, I would imagine, planned on knocking on the door pretty soon. Like, how have you been able to manage that frustration while you're kind of in this waiting pattern?
For me, I was real excited. I had a lot of expectations for the season, and just was real eager to get going. And for it to come to a stop like it did, it was tough at first, but kind of once I got back, and I just came to the realization that I was gonna, stay as ready as possible. That way, I could be ready when the time comes again to play, and I still expect to help contribute in some way when the time comes, and I just want to be as ready as possible when it does.
Now, Dylan, you live in Northern California, right?
hmm
And I know that you grew up with some other guys who, are in the big leagues now. The guys that you're pretty tight with, JD Davis, I think Dom
hmm
is another one.
Yep.
Um, are those guys that you're in touch with now, and how much pride is there just in terms of kind of being from that same area in Northern California?
Yeah, I stay in touch with those guys a lot. They're they're awesome. I have a ton of respect for them and what they do, and they've just really helped me a lot in my career. So for them to still reach out and show how much they care about me, it really means a lot. And like you said, us all being from the same area, we do take a lot of pride in it. We all work out together in the off season, and we just really want the best for each of us. And we want to make our splash and do our thing, and still find ways to give back to our community and where we came from.
Yeah, we on our end, Jim Callis and I split up the country in terms of draft coverage, and I have California, and I've always gotten the sense that the guys from Northern California have a, I don't know how else to put it, like maybe a little chip on their shoulders
Hmm.
when compared to the guys from SoCal who tend to get more attention, get more ink, things like that. Am I right in assessing the situation that way? Do you guys feel like you have something to prove to the greater world who especially those who follow the draft and things like that that the baseball up there is just as good as the baseball down there?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair thing to say. I'd say for me, there's obviously, we understand there's a ton of great players in Southern California, and we understand, the baseball there is great as well. But yeah, like you said, there is a little chip. We have something to prove out here. We like letting people know we could play too, and we like all our matchups against them. It gives us that little extra boost when we would play them in high school and just throughout the year and in the summer and stuff. So yeah, I'd say that's a fair thing to say.
That was very diplomatically put. I was kind of hoping to full on turf war, baseball turf war, but
Yeah.
you handled that like a true veteran, Dylan. So kudos.
Yeah, I got some family from Southern California, so I gotta, yes, kind of stay in the middle there.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Fair enough. Now you mentioned, that once you're done with your workout, you have downtime and you're playing a lot of the show. Is that
Mhm.
your go-to video game? What else, or are there other things that you like to play as well?
Yeah, so MLB The Show is one I've been playing a lot recently. I also have been playing the Call of Duty that came out. I've been playing that. I'm not too great at that one, so I tend to play a couple games of that, get a little frustrated, then head back to MLB The Show, a little bit more in my comfort zone, and then yeah, just stick on that, and then yeah, just try to find different activities all throughout the day. I mean, I've done some things I haven't done in a long time. I mean, I did a puzzle the other day. I flew a kite one day. I was just like, man, just random things, to stay busy.
You kind of go back to child. How big was the puzzle? How many pieces?
I think it was only like 650 or something. I mean, it was decent. It wasn't outrageous, but it took me some time.
Yeah, it's a starting point. You can
Hmm.
from there. My daughter just finished a 1,000 piece puzzle, but
Whew.
she's a bit of a puzzle master, so that's something
Oh, okay.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, have you been following the tournament? All the big league players playing MLB The Show.
Uh-huh.
Is that something that like you're into and you're following closely?
I've followed some. I see some of those highlights on social media, and some of them are really funny, and it's awesome to see. I think it was Tatis when he was hitting the home runs with himself, screaming and yelling. I thought that was awesome to see, and I do the same thing in my living room, so I know exactly how he feels. So yeah, I thought it was really cool to see all the guys playing against each other and just the different, still finding a way to compete, I guess.
That's it. You're right. You have to. You guys are all so competitive. You have to channel it somewhere.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned, that you're doing things that you haven't done before. Now, you're lucky enough to be at home, so I'm assuming you're getting some home cooking from the family. But do you cook at all? Have you been sort of venturing into the kitchen?
I've been watching some of the meals they cook, so I could hopefully one day prepare them. Yesterday, for example, my dad made a chicken parmesan dish, and I've always enjoyed eating it, and I kind of hovered over and watched how he made it a little bit. I might give it a try one of these days, but I doubt it'll turn out anywhere near what I'm expecting.
All right. Well, your brother gets schoolwork, so I'm going to give you a homework assignment. The next time we talk, I want you to have prepared a meal so you can report back and let everyone know how it went.
Absolutely, I can do that.
You can watch like Chopped or Top Chef or something like that to get some ideas.
Oh yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
what about binge watching? Everyone's watching something. I'm sure you're not just playing video games,
Hmm.
in front of a screen. What are your two things that you're enjoying watching right now?
Yeah, so I knocked out that show All American on Netflix,
Yeah.
the football. Yeah, so that one was pretty good. And then I also finished Ozarks a couple days ago. So yeah, I mean, I've been binge watching them Netflix as well.
I'm on the last episode of Ozark, so don't
Okay, yeah, yeah.
no spoilers right now, please. I appreciate it. No Tiger King for you. That seems to be all the
Oh,
rage.
I did check that one out too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's this quarantine's just been a blur, I guess. I'm forgetting ones, but yeah, the Tiger King one I definitely watched as well.
All right. Well, Dylan, hope you're continuing to stay safe and your family's continuing to stay safe. And it's good that you have each other. And as I've been telling all players, as we close out these things, I'm hoping the next time we talk, one, I'll hear about the meal you cooked, but also that we're doing kind of batting cage or dugout where we're supposed to be meeting up right now.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, Dylan. Thanks very much.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.